Edelweiss Institutional Equities is holding their conference day after tomorrow, and I have with me the head of research, Aditya Narain, with us to talk about the theme this time round. They're talking about the ESG way. Remember, in global investing landscape, ESG way of investing is really catching up as the mega theme right now, and that's why they have chosen this particular theme for their conference as well. So, as a curtain raiser, let's have a chat with him to understand the dynamics of this evolving theme. Aditya, thank you very much for your time. Give us a sneak peek on this time's conference, and how have you chosen the ESG way as the main way of investing, the main theme of your conference?
Right. So from a conference perspective, it's a really large conference. We have about 190 companies. We have over 8,000 meetings lined up. We have 500 plus institutional investors. So it's a very large and vibrant conference per se. In terms of the theme, last year we'd done a theme which was titled India 2025, A Tryst with Destiny, where we really looked at how India would become a $5 trillion economy in 2025 and what the economy would look like and the kind of growth that you would get to get there. This time we thought we needed to go a little beyond and focus really in terms of the quality of growth rather than just the growth. And that's how this whole ESG theme came our way. Because we realized it's actually not how fast you grow, that's kind of factored in already. It's qualitatively how you get there that will actually make a difference in terms of what kind of a market you have, what kind of an economy you have, and most importantly, what kind of a country that you end up having.
So last couple of months, I've been going to a lot of conferences and interacting with some people. I saw Navneet Munawat of SBM Mutual Fund talk about it at a public platform. We've also witnessed two big institutions announce ESG, billion-dollar ESG funds. Do you really see some serious money wanting to invest in this particular manner going forward, that you thought that it will be nice to be ahead of the curve and start working?
Absolutely. If you look at it globally, there's about $23 trillion that's ESG benchmarked in some form or the other. That's over a quarter of the global assets that are there in equity. So it's already large. If you look at a market like Europe, over 50% of their funds are actually ESG compliant in some form or the other. So that's again massive. And if you look at total asset growth in terms of equity assets globally, ESG assets are growing much more rapidly, almost at twice the pace of overall assets. So to us, I think it's very, very obvious that this shift is going to embed itself as far as India is concerned. B, we think India is actually at a particular takeoff stage where growth is now kind of a given. It's how you actually get there that will matter more. And I think that's very, very important, both for businesses and for markets. Let's not underplay the importance of this for businesses.
Sure. So let's talk, we spoke about how important it's turning out to be from the investor's point of view.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about, from the corporate's point of view, just units of profits, earning units of profit or the earning per share may not be that attractive anymore. There are forces at play where corporates have to think about their social impact as well as how they're giving back to the society. Also, how policymakers and the government also play a role in a way that they open up opportunities in ESG.
I think that's a very, very appropriate way of looking at it. It's a very, very important part of it. From our perspective, I think the big shift that you're beginning to see is that it's no longer a question of it being a regulatory push that you need to do this, this, and this, right? That is there and it will only actually increase. But I think the shift that is happening is that businesses are beginning to believe that they do need to focus on these issues, do business in the right way, right? And do business in a way that is actually works for everyone apart from the social system that they operate within. Now, there are two elements to this. Our sense is if you do business in the right way or the ESG way or ways that focus on these issues, your business will fundamentally be more robust and will do better, right? And the second bit is the market value of it should typically actually be much, much higher. So I think what you're effectively seeing is a shift from financial returns to economic returns or stakeholder returns, right? And that's a much, much wider pool and much, much more remunerative for everyone in that value chain.
Mm-hmm. So Aditya, lastly, talk to us. Who are the big talking heads which are coming, people should look forward to listening to in this conference?
Right.
And which are the companies you guys are hosting, and what's the showstopper this time around?
So I think the theme itself is the showstopper. As I said, we have over 500 investors coming. We have over 190 companies coming, so it's the who's who of corporate India. We have over 60 CEOs who will be presenting. So it's actually a very, very wide gamut. And I wouldn't want to single down one person because we have a lot of stalwarts and a lot of heavyweights.
No problem. I'll let you go on that note. In fact, ET Now and the entire ET team will be reporting live from the conference. So stay tuned for more on the ESG way of investing from Edelweiss conference.